Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Seder Survival with Sticky Fang Gaming. In today's video, I want to talk about a rumor that's been going around. I actually got a voice chat about it on Discord the other day. So I'm not sure if it's 100% accurate, but this is what I was told. I'm really not in with the devs anymore, so I don't really have that insider information. Just one of my friends just reached out to me and was like, hey, this is what they're talking about, just so you know, and you can spread it to the world. And so that's what I'm doing. And so it looks like there is going to be a state versus state version 2.0 coming out in the next upcoming months. And apparently, this is supposed to happen after mergers. So I guess mergers is confirmed. I know those rumors have been going around a lot recently too. I don't have a lot of details about pretty much anything right now, but I'll go ahead and talk to you guys about what I am told from this insider informant. So again, this version 2.0 is supposed to happen after mergers. Mergers are supposed to happen early 2021, hopefully. And one of the biggest things that this guy was telling me was that for the 2.0 version for state versus state, it'll be 4 states going 1v1v1v1, which will be interesting because if this is happening after the mergers happen, if the mergers are a real thing as well, then that means it's going to basically amplify how many people are going to be fighting for a capital. That's a lot of players. I know that we've had issues in the past for capital clash or for state warfare where the game was very laggy and buggy because there was just so many people scouting the capital, rallying the capital, attacking the capital. And here's even a picture right now on the screen of state warfare that was happening to one of my friends this past weekend. And if something like this were to happen during a four-way state warfare fight, that would just I can the servers handle it? I mean, that's a pretty big question for me. Like, I don't want the game to be more laggy because, I mean, don't get me wrong. I think it'd be great to go against more states in state versus state, but it's just, can the game handle that? Maybe they've upgraded their servers or something like that. I don't really know. But I guess it is something that they're talking about doing where they're making it like not just a 1v1. It's going to be a 1v1v1v1, a four-way free-for-all when it comes to state versus state. And he did tell me a little bit more about like the differences with preparation stage and then going into the warfare part of it as well. So from my understanding from what he was saying is that the two top states winning the prep stage would be safe. So out of the 4 states going at it for the prep stage, doing like the all the different events that happens during the week, the first place state and the second place state, they will get their capitals closed out like how it happens right now if you typically win the prep stage. So instead of just one person having a capital blocked, 2 people have a capital blocked. And then the last 2 states will be able to get invaded during like the warfare part of the state versus state. So if you're in third and fourth place, you're in trouble. And it also sounded like that the top 2 states that won prep stage, they can go to either or both of the losing states at the same time. So let's say you have a number 1 alliance and a number 2 alliance that are both really strong. You could potentially split them up between both of the losing states so you can have the opportunity to fight for both of those capitals, and you might have the chance to win 3 capitals, meaning you'd win your own capital because you won prep stage and it's already closed out. You'd win the third place capital if you were able to beat everybody going for that, and then the fourth place capital if you beat everybody going for that as well. And in my mind, when I was told this, I automatically think like, well, this could get interesting because let's say my state wins prep stage, we get in first or second place. I would strategize to go to the third place state and try to win that as quickly as possible, and then take all my forces and go straight into the fourth place state and try to rile some stuff up there, you know? Like, if we had enough time, why would I want to split my forces between two states? I might do that just so I can keep resetting the capital in the fourth place state. But yeah, I would probably focus on one state at a time just so I can have basically the entire state going after the the, the fourth one after we finish with the third one. So that's just how my brain works. Like, this this feature hasn't even really been brought up yet, or hasn't even been created yet, and I'm already thinking about how I could possibly utilize it if this does become a thing for the game in the future. And if this is happening after mergers, like, just think of the powerhouses and the huge numbers of folks that you'll have. You might actually have enough fighters that you could split them off comfortably between two states. But I would hate I would hate to be the third and fourth place state in this type of situation, just because you're going to have a lot of competition just to keep your capital. It's like, at this point, winning prep stage would be like vital. And on top of that, if you think about it, if you lose the prep stage, you're probably still going to be restricted to just your state. So not only will you have to fight all of these people just to keep your own capital, you won't even have a chance to go to the other state that lost the prep stage too. So it's like you're stuck in your state, you're getting invaded by a ton of people, you're fighting for your capital, and then you can't even port to try to take the other guy's capital and potentially win too. It's like, if you lose prep stage, you're limited to just one capital. That's it, your own, and good luck trying to keep it. But I'm sure that you'll still be able to, like, port over and attack people in that 1 hour you get after the capital closes and whatnot. So next thing that they talked to me about was that the developers are going to tweak the points made in each event for balance, so people don't get a crazy amount of points for just troop training compared to things like gathering. So I guess this is for more of the free-to-play players. I guess there were concerns that some people were getting like a crazy amount of points. Like, I've seen people get like 1 billion points or something like that from just the troop training stage, but they weren't doing anything else. They would just get a ton of points in one stage of the preparation event, and they would just ride that out to the very end, and then their state will win the prep event. But the other state have more people participating. They have more people trying to do things like just free to play stuff, or just things that they were able to do that was more beneficial to them besides buying a ton of speed ups and just spamming the speed button during the troop training event. And so it looks like they're planning to tweak the points for that. Don't have details, unfortunately. Sorry. Again, I had this conversation through voice chat, so this is just what I'm being told. So besides that, they're going to add game-wide state versus state leaderboards for solo kills, alliance kills, and state kills, with rewards at the end depending on the rankings. And so this can be good or bad depending on who you are. So someone like me, I personally like to smash my troops into people and like kill them and whatnot. So I think this will be interesting, but I can also see this as being like a downfall because this kind of promotes killing, you know? And if you're one of those support players and you're not able to like actively go out and smash people all the time, you're basically not even gonna get the chance to get some of these rewards unless you're just in a state that has like an uber amount of bloodthirsty killers, like state 42 or something like that, or state 100 or state 20. Those guys are, or state 19, like those guys are killers over there. So I can see them racking up a lot of these points and whatnot for every state versus state that they have, whether they win prep stage or lose prep stage. So we're gonna probably see them on those leaderboards. For individual kills, I think that'll be pretty interesting to see who is just the mass murderer for state versus state. I think it'll be interesting more than anything. I probably will never see myself on these leaderboards, no matter how many people I try to kill, just because I know that some of these max players will literally smash other max players until they start to burn them. So it'll be a very interesting concept. I'm very curious to see how this plays out, and this could be a really good thing. It could make some people spend more, which is probably what the company would like because they're using more troops. They want to make sure they get that edge over that one person who's close to them in stats. Or I can see this being a downfall because a lot of people who are free to medium spenders are just gonna like they're gonna die off if they're just being wrecked just for points. And I don't even know if these rewards are going to be good. You know, State of Survival has a track record of saying, like, oh, we're going to give you these great rewards for this event. And they give you like 100 badges for chief medals or like some not really that great reward, you know? So if they're going to be promoting killing on the solo, alliance, and the state level, these rewards really better be amazing. And I guess since they're promoting all this killing, another thing that they were talking about doing is giving more revive vouchers. So I guess there was an issue where I guess players weren't getting enough revive vouchers where they weren't able to get that 90% troops back. I know that most top players are priority in the states. Like I know in my state, I'm one of the priorities. A couple of our other bigger guys are priorities for getting the revive vouchers, but that also leaves the little guys who may have gotten zeroed. They don't get enough revive vouchers, so they're not able to fully or not fully recover, but they're not able to get that full 90% revive. So I guess they're considering giving more revive vouchers. So that's nice. Appreciate it. That's nice of you guys to do. Another thing is offering state versus state packs with special cross state ports. So there's no more 3 port limit. So I think that's pretty interesting as well. I was curious about this when he first mentioned the whole 4 states going at it. Like, there's no way that 3 ports will be enough to switch between all the different states that you may be porting to. Only thing with this that I see might be an issue is that if you don't have these special cross state ports, are you not able to port to the other states? Or I guess that kind of also limits you switching back and forth. And if this is only available through packs, like, then how are you going to get your support characters who may be free to play or maybe who don't want to spend $5 or whatever's the case? That kind of sucks because you don't get those free ports anymore, but at the same time, now you can kind of stack up on the ports. So this is like a give or take. They're giving us more ports, but you have to pay for it. So it hurts the free to play, but kind of helps. It's just it depends on how many ports you can get per pack, and I don't know that information. So hopefully they're not going to be like, oh yeah, 1 port is $5. That would suck. That would suck pretty bad. So if they do implement this, at least make it to where like if someone is willing to spend $5, they get a decent amount of ports to help their team out. So next is if state loses their cap, they get negative gathering buffs and resource production. And I guess this is an incentive to not just give up prep stage and then give up your capital because you just don't want to fight whoever you're fighting. So those negative buffs don't really sound too bad. I mean, realistically, if you're in a pretty decently old state, like, do you really need resources? I mean, I'm kind of speaking off of like my personal play style. Like, I would never need resources. I have a ridiculous amount of resources. So if I was ever in a state that lost and we had negative gathering buffs and negative resource production, that's not really going to affect me too much. So that doesn't really give me more incentive to waste troops if I'm like facing someone who we obviously can't beat. But that might be important to some people. So I guess it does make people want to like not have this negative buff on their state for 2 weeks. So, you know, that might be good, I guess. That might work out. I don't know. And then last but not least, I know this has been a super long video, but better matching based on wins and losses. So this will be good because right now, at least for State 11, we're undefeated currently. We've never lost a warfare stage. We've never won a prep stage ever. We've never won the prep stage. We've never got to invade a state before, but we've never lost the warfare stage. We've never lost our capital. We're undefeated, which is great. But what we started to notice is that we're facing pretty much only states around our age. So we face like states 8, 9, 1, 3, 5. You know, like we're not really. We played state 108 in our very first state versus state, and we beat them too. But we actually just played a state that we've already beaten before, and we beat them again. So right now, I think it's based on primarily how close you guys are in age, and less on like how many wins and losses you actually have. So I think this will be better. That way, we can get some better competition. These guys are like close to us when it comes to like power and strength and whatnot, but they can't beat us. So that'll be interesting to see someone or to face someone who may also be undefeated. So I think that'll be pretty cool. And again, if this is happening after mergers, maybe they're gonna reset everybody to 0 wins and 0 losses and go from there. So if you lose your first 4-way state versus state, you face 3 other states who also lost their 4-way state versus state the first time, and make it a little bit more balanced. So this is pretty much just a balance thing. So I think that is going to be very useful if this is implemented. And that's pretty much it. So that is all my notes that I have from that voice chat. I hope this happens. Apparently this is like in the works and this is being talked about. This is apparently straight from the game team behind everything. So it sounds like pretty like valid information, especially with as much detail that I was given, but I just don't have like the really good details like numbers, like when it's supposed to come out or whatever's the case, or how exactly they're tweaking stuff specifically. They'll probably put this into the beta in the PTR server before they release it into the main game. So if they do that and I'm able to get into the PTR server, I'll try to do like an update video with more specific information based off of exactly what they're testing. So stay tuned for that. That might be a couple months probably. But yeah, and as you see on the screen right now, you see Sticky Fang Gaming 500. This isn't for State 500, but actually I am coming up on 500 days playing State of Survival, which to me is crazy. Not only because to be playing a game for 500 days straight and not to miss a login, but also crazy because like there's way more states than 500 in the game. So that also means they've been pushing out like multiple states a day, which to me is kind of not good, but hey, it doesn't matter. So in celebration of me playing State of Survival for over 500 days, I would like to do a special video for you guys. So if you want for me to do a special video, whether it's me telling a story about something, or if you're curious about something, or you just want me to talk about some type of feature or anything, go ahead and comment into this video below. I'll read all these comments and I'll see which one is the most popular, and I'll go ahead and do that video as a celebratory Sticky Fang's been playing State of Survival for 500 days video. And I will also still be doing the video very soon about the new heroes because they are very overpowered, very strong. I personally don't have the max, so I'm trying to get those stats for you guys before I make the video. Working on it. Hopefully it's coming very soon. And as always, thank you for watching. Please join the Sticky Fang Discord. We have a lot of great stuff happening in there. Decipher's running raffles, and all the other Sticky Fangs and all the helpers and whatnot. They're just great people. They're here to help you, to answer your questions, and just have a good time. So if you're interested, the link will be in the description. And until next time, guys, this has been another episode of State of Survival with Sticky Fang Gaming.